When we last left off, our party encountered and fought the wizard that they found in the basement of Dragonspear Castle, who, just before meeting them, downed a Hydra. Covered in blood and guts, and probably a bit weaker than he probably should have been, more than likely from fighting the Hydra. The party fought with him and managed to successfully kill him. They made their way back out from the basement of the castle and found themselves again in the courtyard, where they went and divided the loot that they found from the body and all of the other possessions that were found within the dungeon. The vial of red liquid, which could only be assumed to have been Hydra blood, was thrown onto the ground and shattered to make sure that it would never fall into the wrong hands, much to the dismay of some of the party members.
Mainly the short red pointy one.
Mainly the short red pointy one. After a brief argument ensued, the party decided to continue pushing forward down to Borskir Bridge, where their travel went unimpeded fairly easily. And as they approached over the ridge, they see in front of them the large statue on this side of the bridge, and off in the distance they see the second statue at the far end of the bridge with lights kind of holding around the area as the sun is fading to their west. What are you guys doing? You're approaching the little homestead.
Would I know anything about this place from soldiery stuff?
You're getting to the point where you haven't been this far, at least on this road, but you do know that. Give me a history check. Oof. No, unfortunately, it's not coming to you right now.
Rip.
So as you approach, you see that it is a settlement of sorts, but it's nothing too organized. As you're approaching the gates, it's not super fortified enough for what it is, but you cross through the gates and you see that instead of permanent buildings, it's mainly a lot of merchant tents and carts that have been set up for either temporary or fairly long-term staying. What are you guys doing?
I would do my normal stable stuff, since
Yes.
that's kind of my job.
So you're finding yourself a place and all that stuff to... Okay.
Finding a place to put the cart, finding food for the horses.
Okay. What is the rest of everyone else doing?
I'd like to look and see if there's any, interesting crafters in this area. Maybe perhaps armorsmiths?
So you're looking for some sort of blacksmith then?
Yeah.
Give me an investigation check. Is anyone else going with her?
Yeah, I'd probably be right behind her too.
Okay. Just as a reference, it is getting dark. And as you look around, Vera, you notice that most of the merchants who are still up are very much packing up.
Okay.
For the night.
Perhaps we'll do this in the morning then. Assuming I don't see anything, I will go to the tavern.
I'm sorry, what?
Assuming I don't see anything, like anyone that's welcome to take on someone new, I'll just go find a tavern.
Okay. Fairly
I
easy
roll
enough.
an
Did you just hear me just then?
Yes.
I fucking hit the mute button. Hang on, let me restart Discord real quick.
Oh no. Since I'm with her, can I go ahead and roll an investigation too, just because I was looking at this?
Go ahead. You see about the same. Most people are packing up for the night. And any signs of Smiths you do see are already closed at this point. So you're trying to find your way to the tavern now. It's fairly easy to find. It's the only real solidly built area or place around here. Everything else, as I said, are tents and such like that. And you do notice that there's quite a lot of foot traffic in the area as well. It seems that it's frequented by more than just people staying at the tavern. And as you make your way in, Yasmig, his tail whacks against the ground a little bit, and he kind of gives one of his happy little shakes and says, "Oh, well, I think I'll be spending my time here during our little stay here. Wouldn't you agree?" And he walks into the bar part of the tavern and starts doing his thing. That's what I'm going to do for him this session.
In harassing the barmaids. Sounds like him.
I'm just leaving him at the tavern for this session.
And Niana knows what direction I went off in, right?
Well, I'd say that you all drove the cart and the horses to the location where you're gonna be, and they left you. More than you took them or the animals somewhere else. Because it's not so much like a community stable like most towns are. It's very much you pick your spot and you keep it there.
I just wanted to know just in case of potential telepathy needing to happen.
Yeah, they know where you are.
Because I don't need to stay in a room, so I'm gonna guard the cart because that has all of our shit in it.
Okay. And the rest of you?
So it seems like there's more people here than just the normal regulars.
Well, it seems like there's regulars here, but it feels like it's the lively place to be. There's a couple empty tables, but most of them seem fairly full. Most merchants, after closing up, probably are coming here for the drink and celebration, for maybe sales of the day and such.
Okay, with that, I'll request some food and drink, and actually, I'll get a couple drinks and get a table if I can find one.
All right, the barmaid nods and, is there anything I can get for the rest of you as well? Looking to the rest of the party.
Nyana would ask for wine, of course, because you know me. And
Coffee.
All right.
Coffee sounds good.
Some
And just
ale,
some
some wine, some coffee, and some what?
just uh, trying to think of food. Right.
We do have a
I
special.
would just ask her
that
to
I can-
surprise me.
All right, we do have a special that I can bring for you. You miss, for the ale, would you like just the standard ale that's on keg, or would you like some of the more special drink?
I'd be interested in trying some of that special drink.
All right. Let me quickly pull something up.
Last time this happened, we met a succubus, and it didn't end well.
This
Yeah,
is
but the
Yeah,
this,
drinks
this
are
is gonna
fine.
Piss.
yeah, this is gonna be a frequent thing. I actually want to do this at the start.
The
All
drinks didn't hurt
right,
anybody.
let's roll a D1 or yeah. Roll D100. 4. She goes into the back, and as you're all waiting, she comes out with a tray, a couple platters of meat and such. Puts one in front of you, Nyana. Puts another one in front of each of you as well. You're probably tired from your journeys. You should definitely eat with the drinks. And in front of you, Nyana, she places your glass of wine, hands you your cup of coffee, black, as you always take it. And in front of you, Siggy, she puts down a dark purple glittery drink.
Lovely. Okay. I'm gonna sniff it a little bit and then take a taste.
It's nice tasting, and it's fairly nice tasting. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Lovely.
Oh no.
Okay, you're good.
All right.
And just so you know, that will be 5 silver for you, Siggy, and I'll say 2 silver for the rest of you.
How much silver is in gold?
10 silver is 1 gold.
Okay.
Did you say 2?
2, yes. So as this is going on, as you see Farah drinking from her glittery purple drink, you hear that there's music starting to play in the back part of the tavern. Kind of say the entrance is to the right, to your left in the back corner, you start hearing a small group playing some music. And a lot of the voices start dying down a little bit as they listen to it and take in the sounds that they're hearing. Eventually, with the chattering starting to get up a little bit more as the music carries on, you do hear a from the distant side of the room, and you look over and see Yasmig rubbing his face as he's walking through the room, kind of not really paying much attention to you. Is there anything else that you guys are doing?
Is there by any chance a attractive female in the area that Yosmig's walking away from?
Give me an investigation check. With advantage, because, yeah. Actually, give me perception, not investigation. Sorry.
Oh.
All right. It's easy enough to track where he was coming from. You see in a crowd this fairly short elven woman. She doesn't look she looks doesn't look fairly young, but she has white hair with bright green eyes, and you see a slight look of disgust on her face as she turns away from Yasmig walking away, and she kind of steps into the crowd a little bit, talking to another person that she's with. And with that role, you would see that she is fairly attractive, yes.
Is there dancing happening? Music?
Yeah, there's a couple people dancing with the music. Probably they're much closer to the stage than the rest of the bar or the rest of the tavern, who are just having their idle chit-chats and such.
Alright, with that, I'm gonna down my drink. Feeling a little bit buzzed. I'm gonna go join some dancing.
Alright, is anyone going to be joining her?
I think Nyana
Hold
is
on.
going to stay in.
Hold on a second. I need to pause because my second monitor just started freaking the fuck out. Give me a second. I think my monitor may be dying.
Oh.
Rest in pepperonis.
Oh no.
Oh, I hope it's
Hopefully like a loose cord or something.
yeah, and not the monitor itself. Oh. Okay, I can't see a damn thing. All my stream stuff is on that monitor too. Okay, so continuing along, you do manage to find your way to a small area where people are dancing and such. Was anyone else going to follow Fira?
Nope. I'd be finishing up my wine and watching.
Okay.
Pierre's just drunkenly dancing alone.
Just some of
Randomly
that
dancing
drunken
alone.
elf dancing.
You know.
Yeah, I'd probably be smirking while I'm watching her. I can imagine it'd be a little bit funny.
You do,
Probably.
as you're dancing alone, you do see that a couple of people do walk up and offer their hand in as a dance partner. But it's up to you whether you decide to accept or not.
Yeah. Well, I'll go for it.
All right. The first one that comes up is a half orc man, about 6 feet tall, a little bit taller than that, and well, his face and body is very tough looking. The way that he holds your hand and has his arm around you as you guys are dancing, it's actually quite gentle for what he looks like. And
Don't stereotype half orcs.
exactly. But the dance continues as the band plays on. Nyana, at this point, the barmaid comes back around again and says, is there anything else that I can get for you?
No, I'm fine. I think I'll just sit and enjoy the music for a while before I rest for the night.
She nods and goes on to take care of another table. At this point, the band, the bards and such, they finish playing the song that they were playing. Are you gonna continue dancing, or are you gonna head back to the table?
I'm a little bit exhausted, so we'll head back.
All right. You find the rest of the party. Sans, Yasmig, and Bastion
RoboCop.
at the table where they found you. Or at the table where they were before.
I'm just gonna kind of sit down and rest a little bit because I'm all worked up.
Yeah, Kaya, that's basically what Siggy's drink was. I'm gonna show it to the stream. This is basically what the drink was. Okay.
It's fruity.
What unicorn?
So at this point, you see Yasmig approach back to the table. Well, I hope you all had an absolutely fantastic evening, because I know I did not. His face is a little bit redder in some places than usual. You probably can assume that more than just the one woman may have been encountered by him.
That's a surprise. Sarcastically.
Shall we, perhaps get us our rooms for the night?
Yes.
And with that, he stands, and as he stands and turns, he accidentally bumps into a fairly large cloaked person. And the cloaked person looks down at him and kind of just scoffs and walks away. Yasmig, kind of getting pushed a little bit by it, dusts himself off and walks back towards the front of the tavern to get you guys some rooms. Are you following him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. You get to the front of the tavern, and it's a It's actually a halfling in charge of the tavern. You see him standing there on top of a stool, or sitting on a fairly large stool, so that way he's sitting just up below the countertop with a fairly large book, even for your sizes, in front of him, with a quill, dark ink at the end, dipping it into a little inkwell and writing. And as you approach, he looks up and says, "Well, yes. How can I help you?" Looking at anyone in the party.
Looking for what? 2, 3 rooms tonight? 3, yeah.
3 rooms for the night. So, and he starts counting the 4 of you guys. All right. 3 rooms. He grabs quite a few pages from the large book and flips it, dipping the quill into some inkwell and writing down on the ledger. What name shall these rooms be under?
I'll give mine Fira.
Vera. All right. And you, Farah, with your passive perception, you look down and see that he's spelling it Fira.
I don't bother correcting him. I just let him do it.
All right, that will be 1 gold in total for the night.
Okie dokie. I open up my bag and I give it to him.
He nods and hands you the few sets of keys. Your rooms will be upstairs and just to the right. Have a good night and enjoy your time at Boiskier Bridge. He flips back to the front page and continues writing along with what he was doing.
I give a key to Saradir and also to Yasmik, and then I suppose me and Niana will share as we usually do.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, you are getting your long night's rest, then.
I pass out in my drunken stupor.
Bastion. As this is going on, you're setting up you're sitting on guard. Give me a perception check.
Alright.
Don't do that, monitor. I saw a little shake.
Don't do it.
I saw a
Don't
little
do
shake
it.
again.
You said perception?
Perception check, yes. Just a straight perception. Oh.
You're cutting in and out. You said...
Yes. My entire computer just lagged there. Hold on. I think that may be deeper than just my,
Oh no.
No.
No, we're good. We're good.
Are we though?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I think I'm gonna keep that open. As you're sitting there in your sentry mode, I'm assuming sitting on the back of the cart.
I can't because I'm too heavy.
That's right.
So I gotta stand in front of it.
Yeah, you're in front of it. You do notice that there's a few night dwellers who are just passing through, mostly heading either east, west, or south. Almost no one going towards the north.
Also, I forgot to mention, I would have... Because my eyes normally glow, but I would have them intentionally off while I'm resting.
Got it.
So I would just appear as like a suit of armor leaned up against the cart or whatever.
Got it. And with that, you do see a couple people kind of approach and look a little bit before getting a little creeped out and walking away. But for the most part, you don't really see too much that's catching your eye. A couple, mainly humans and elves. There's a halfling and a dwarf every now and then, but for the most part, nothing happens.
Nice. Oh, I was hoping I wasn't gonna have to like thump some thug for trying to break into the back of the cart.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. I'm joking.
At least I have proficiency in those.
All right. As the morning comes, sun rising into your windows where you can shine through, you hear Yasmig yelling from his room. It's gone! Someone took it! And
Maybe I
you
was
hear
guarding
clattering.
the wrong spot.
What?
I said maybe I was guarding the wrong spot.
And you hear clattering in the side rooms. Let me see. I think trying to figure out who would hear it first. I think maybe Nyana would. What's your passive perception? 14, no. Okay, never mind. Actually, Farah, again, you, with your passive perception, you hear this as well. Kind of muffled through the walls of the rooms, and your room's kind of, his room was in the middle, yours was on one side, and Saradir's was on the far side. So you do hear him yelling this.
I'm still kind of out of it, so I'm like tossing and turning in bed, kind of like, no, 5 more minutes.
And at this point, you hear like thrashing in the room of things getting thrown onto the ground as he's looking. The clang of metal as he empties his pack full of daggers. And
Okay,
you hear them scraping across the ground as he's counting them.
Oh god. So I roll out of bed, I stomp over to his door. I like bust it open, assuming it's not locked, and I'm like, "What is your problem?"
It's locked.
Okay,
So
then I
you go to open it and it ka-chunk, ka-chunk, and you bang on it. And you hear the scraping stop for a second. And then you hear more scraping as the sounds of daggers go from the sound of wood or metal on wood to softened by a cloth. And you hear a thump on a table. And he walks over, unlatching the door and opening it. Yes? What is it, Farah?
What is wrong with you? You're making a massive ruckus.
Also, like, was the
Well-
ruckus like loud enough to cause?
No,
a
you're pretty
commotion?
far away. No.
I was about to say.
No. Well, Yasmig, his tail twirls a little bit and he stands up straight. Someone took the prism from my bag.
Refresh my memory. Is this something that we found?
This is
on
the
one of
light
our-
thing. This is the laser light show thing.
Oh, the one that we were using the uses and we didn't
Yes.
know it? Okay. And so I say, well, what on earth would someone want with that useless thing?
Well, I don't know. It's probably worth some sort of money, I would assume. Either way, it's mine, and I want it back. We have to go find it.
I'm kind of like groaning about this, like, oh god. Do we
And
have
at this
to do
point, Yasmig walks back into the room, leaving the door open, grabs his stuff, and starts walking out and bangs on Saradir's door. Saradir, get up. We're going to find a thief. Yeah.
You're not gonna hear a response because I'm gonna do Sarah sick from
Yeah,
being sludge.
Saradir walks to the door, gives him a look, and closes the door again. And if you want, I'll just leave you in the room for the rest of the time if you want to go.
Yeah, solid. I feel like I'm dying.
Gotcha,
Have fun,
dude.
guys.
Feel better, dude.
Feel better, man.
So with that, Yasmig walks back over to Yufer and says, "Is Nyana at least awake?"
Last I checked, and so then I go back in the room and I nudge her awake.
Do you wake up?
Yeah, Nana's going to wake up, blink her eyes a little bit in confusion, and be like, "What?" It's still really early.
You see Yasmik standing in the doorway. Tell her about the thief.
Yeah, Osmic's on about some thief that stole his crystal or something. I don't know. He's on a mission. He wants to find them. We're never gonna hear the end of it.
It's not just a crystal. It is the source of my lighthouse. Thank you very much.
The sort. What lighthouse are you talking about?
It's a thing me and Bastion figured out one night. What's important is we gotta go find it.
He would be upset about losing them.
So, because you want to have your lighthouse, that's why you're waking everybody up early.
Well, yes, but it was stolen from me. And we have to find this person.
Fine.
I hope you're all enjoying
Nah.
my Yasmig.
Nyana's going to pick up her pillow and just toss it at Yasmin.
He's gonna let it hit him, and it's just gonna slump to the floor. I am glad to see you're excited. And his tail shakes a little bit, and he walks away. Probably downstairs.
Alright, well, Nyana's going to get ready then and head back down, go downstairs after him.
All right.
I go downstairs and ask for a strong coffee.
And a very, very tall cup of coffee is put in front of you. Black coffee. And it smells extremely bitter.
Good,
Especially
I'm
after
gonna need
your
it.
night.
So I down it and maybe I eat a snack or something and just wait for Yasmin to come down.
He came down with you.
Oh, okay. Well then, assuming he's eaten as well, I wait until he finished and then I ask him. Or I wait for Kaya whenever she's down.
I followed behind Yasmig and I would walk over to him and try to get his attention.
Ah, good,
Alright.
you're all here.
Yasmig.
Yes.
I know a lot of stuff happened last night, but I did notice, didn't somebody, or I don't know who bumped into who, didn't you bump into somebody last?
Yes, that very rude fellow bumped into me as I was getting up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think?
Well, isn't that how most pickpockets work?
We haven't seen anyone else as suspicious lately.
Well, we'll have to go find him. If only he was here. Have him roll this. You know, I'm gonna roll for him. Where is it? God, he has low intelligence.
How low is it?
Um. With him standing there, he thinks a little bit, and you see that his tail is wagging with his thinking. You can really see the hamsters turning in his head. Well, he was
Literal
tall,
hamsters.
wearing a very, very nice cloak, I have to say. And for some reason, I think he was shiny? I don't know why, but it just sticks in my mind that he was a little shiny.
I look around the tavern now and see if I see anyone matching that description.
I
You
didn't
do
do it.
not.
Nyana's going to go see if the barmaid is up at the counter somewhere and maybe ask about the guy that looked like that last night.
She's just behind the counter. Yeah. What are you asking her?
I'm going to ask if she recognizes the person in the. Oh, he was tall. Didn't you say he was tall?
Fairly tall.
The tall hooded figure. I'm gonna ask if she knows who that was last night or where he is.
She stands there for a moment, kind of like going through all the faces that she saw during the night. Well, there were a few tall individuals, but the only one that I remember was shiny was that Dragonborn fellow who's been here for a few days, I think. Maybe you would have a good chance trying to find him.
Do you know where he's staying around here?
She motions towards the outside. Where you park is where you stay, usually, if it's not here.
Alright then.
And she
Nana's gonna
nods.
go over to Nana's gonna go over to the others and explain to them what the barmaid just.
Well, suppose we should go look at the stables then.
There are no real stables as much as individual parked areas.
Okay. Then I suggest that we go look there.
Alright, are you going to pick up Bastion?
Yes.
Yeah, might be nice to have a little bit of muscle.
Okay. So you guys are leaving the tavern, and as you're leaving, you're seeing that what was a fairly empty and quiet area is actually quite loud now and busy. Lots and lots of foot traffic of people walking to and from their carts, to and from different merchant stands. You hear haggling going on in the background. You hear people yelling. Nothing too urgent sounding, just like some people laughing, getting to know each other a bit, that sort of stuff. And you do find your way fairly easily through the packed crowd to where Bastion and the cart and horses are. And he's kind of standing there a lot more active than he was during the night, kind of making sure no one gets a bit too close to the cart. Bastion, buddy! Yasmeg approaches you. We have a thief on our hands that we need your help finding, with your professional guard experience.
I just turn to look at him, and I'm trying to assess if he's being serious or not.
Roll insight.
Ooh, I got a decent insight.
He, with his joking nature, you're kind of used to it at this point, but you can tell that the underlying message, and by the looks of the rest of the party with him, that he is quite serious.
What is missing?
Your lighthouse stone is missing. The prism that we found so long ago.
I need to see the room where it was.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't stolen from my room. It was stolen in the tavern. During the night. Well, not during the night. Before we got to our rooms. At least we think, anyway.
Nyana is going to speak up for a second and talk to Bash.
Okay.
Last night we did notice that this large hooded figure that Yasmeg says was sort of shiny, in a way. I suppose it could be his skin. The two bumped into each other. And, well, in most large towns and streets, if somebody bumps into you on purpose, then chances are they're pickpocket and trying to grab something out of your pockets. So I assumed perhaps whenever that happened, maybe that's when it went missing.
Is there anyone in the tavern that happens to have a complete description of this fellow?
The barmaid said that the only person that she would say was shiny would be some sort of... what did she say again? Dragonborn?
Dragonborn. as Yasme kind of points his horn and wags his tail a bit. He's wearing his mask at this point too.
She said that he's been staying around this area for a couple of days, and he should be parked around here somewhere with some horses, I would assume.
Now, is this settlement large enough to have guards of its own, or would it just be like mercenaries hired by the tavern?
From what it looks like, this side isn't super fortified, but there are a couple people you see standing around with weapons, not really partaking in the standard mercantile stuff.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go up to one of them, and I'm just gonna go ahead and ask, are you a guard of this particular settlement?
He looks you up and down, and give me a perception check.
Yikes.
Can I give him a minute?
I think you sent it. Oh, nope, there it is. Unfortunately, it would have to be before the roll happened if you were assisting. So, you do see fairly easily that he's wearing studded leather armor. He has a short sword by his side and a crossbow on his back, and his arms are standing there crossed. He's a half orc, a different half orc than the one that you danced with the night before, Farah. But he looks you up and down, and how tall are you, Bastion?
7'4".
He actually is only about an inch shorter than you.
Jesus, that's a large half orc, man.
Mm-hmm. And he's looking you up and down. And what about it, Tin Man? What if I am?
I'm going to raise my hand, and the little flap in my hand's gonna fall out. It's gonna reveal my guard badge from Waterdeep, and I'm gonna see if he reacts at all to that.
He looks at it and looks at you. And what's this shiny piece of metal supposed to mean to me?
Apparently nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and close my hand back up.
You are very far from home, my friend.
And, well, at that point, seeing as he has nothing to offer me, I'm gonna go ahead and start walking away. Because he would be very dumb if he wanted to start some shit.
He turns back and kind of just shrugs to the other man who's standing there with him.
So, all we have right now is that it's a dragonborn who has shiny skin that wears a cloak. And he frequents the tavern, right?
Yeah.
Well, our best option is to stake out the tavern, I suppose.
Well, she did say that he was parked outside just like we are, so he should go there occasionally, and well, if we don't see him, then maybe he's just gone.
In that case, I'll go ahead and let you two keep an eye on the tavern, and I'll keep an eye on the horse. I don't even know what you'd call it. What would you call it?
Carriage. Cart.
No, I mean the
Parking
the
spot.
specific. Yeah, the spots.
It's just an empty spot that you parked at, that you stored everything at.
Well, anyways, I'll just go ahead and say like I'll let you two go ahead and keep an eye on the tavern. I'll keep an eye out outside, and I would go and put myself somewhere less like super obvious than the place that I was standing the night previous.
Okay.
I mean, I'm too big to like conceal myself.
Are
but
you
I'd at least
trying to
try.
be stealthy?
No, I would be like leaning up against a building
You're
in a
just
dark
you're just trying to be.
corner.
Are you trying to like hide a bit, hide away a bit?
Sure.
Roll me stealth.
I think I actually have disadvantage on stealth.
I think so too. Give me disadvantage because you're you.
Yeah.
You're already OP enough as is.
Oh,
Okay,
it's gonna be
noted.
bad.
You think that you are hidden.
I think that you're hidden.
I'm just like very obviously standing there, just thinking I'm hidden.
I'm imagining Bastion hiding behind a skinny little pole.
All right, and you two, along with Yasmik, he's just going to be following you guys from this point, basically.
Oh, one thing I did find out apparently is that I can switch out my armor kit
Mm-hmm.
every long rest.
Mhm.
I just need to get the materials to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, I could get a light armor kit.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping that in the mind in mind for the future.
So what are you guys doing?
Have a question.
Yes.
The thing that was stolen,
Mhm.
wouldn't it kind of smell like Yasmig since he's had it for so long?
It would.
It would either smell like him or smell like oil from me. 'Cause
Yeah.
it got
Your
stuck in my
sensor
mouth.
your sensor pretty embedded on it.
Okay.
And your direwolf is
Um,
at the cart with the other animals, although not as willingly, per se.
Yeah. Could Nyana go up to her direwolf and I don't know what she would do in this situation. How would she tell the direwolf to like, keep watch of somebody that smells like somebody in the park?
You try and talk to it.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. What was that called again?
As if there's a spell specifically for it.
Yeah, it's been a month. I just forget how to use things.
Go to your spell tab and click Speak with Animal is the spell.
There it is. Yeah, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to give my wolf going to tell him what the person looked like and the thing that was stolen, and let him know that it was Yasmig's. So if he smells anything coming from any shady-looking character, then to let Bastion know.
Okay. But I want you to you as soon as you see that happen, you actually see his nose go up into the air. I want you to go to his character sheet,
Okay.
and at the very top where it says advantage, it's clicked as advantage right now. I want you to click perception under skills.
Okay. There's character sheet and then advantage.
It's already set to advantage.
Okay. And then
Click
what?
on perception.
Sorry,
you-
trying to find where it says perception.
Do you see where strength, dex, con, and all that stuff is? It's
Yeah.
immediately under
Oh,
that.
there it is.
Very good. You actually you see his eyes or his pupils kind of dilate a little bit, kind of focus in, and he gets up and starts walking in a direction, nose straight to the ground.
Oh, well, okay then. Nyana's going to get the rest of the party's attention before they. Oh, we're missing most people. Bastion and Fira. I want to get their attention and get
Yasmig
them
is with you
to
too.
follow me. Oh yeah, Yasmig too.
I'm hiding very, very stealthily, so you might not be able to find me.
You turn and you see him standing like flat up against the brown wall as you can, or as he can be, but he is bright silver against a brown wall.
Bastion, I think my wolf may have caught scent of something.
You can see me?
Yes. quite easily.
Torm be damned. And I'm gonna just go ahead and walk up to her.
All right, are you following the direwolf?
Yeah.
Yep.
I being a soldier, I would have worked with like bloodhounds and the like before.
This is
So
similar to that, but it's almost nothing like it at the same time. The
well, I know
direwolf,
it's not gonna behave.
the
like
direwolf
a,
is almost the size of your warhorse.
Yeah.
As it's
a
walking
very
through the crowd,
large
people
doggy.
are moving out of its way, kind of staring at it with fright on its face. But watching you guys following so close, and Nyana, you're more than likely having your hand on its head, following it around, just to make sure it stays calm with the crowd and such. And you see that the direwolf does walk towards a part of the camp, but it's there's a smaller gate. It's kind of subdivided in this area where the direwolf can't really get through. But give me a perception check.
Me?
Yes, you. Since you're up in the front. And from you, not the direwolf. It's a gate that's too small for your well, at least the gate that's open is too small for your direwolf to go through, but it's people sized. And kind of glancing through, you see that it's an exterior sort of sleeping area, maybe for the people who can't really afford the tavern or are there on their own without a cart or such.
How tall is the gate?
You could duck down and get through it.
No, I mean, but like how
It's-
tall to the very top of it?
Oh, well, the exterior walls are probably about 10 to 15 feet tall. This wall is probably about 8 to 10 at the most.
Can I make myself a ramp so the doggy can get over it?
No, you're medium sized. The dog is large.
I count as large for all purposes.
But it is not
Juggernaut.
lifting, you are trying to ramp.
Yeah, it's only for push, drag, and lift,
Mm-hmm.
and for carrying capacity. Damn it.
Yep. This is
Wait,
more...
does that mean I can use a large size melee weapon?
Maybe. We'll have to get back on that one then. But basically, because the wall, even with your height and the large animal, you would probably barely be able to ramp it over. If you roll well. If you wanted to try.
But if we found some crates and a big old boulder, he can pull it and make stairs. Just saying.
You could try.
How heavy is the wolf?
That is a good question.
Because it's large size. So I mean, like regular wolves are already pretty heavy for like dogs.
Yes, that is a good question. 800 pounds.
That is a fat ass wolf.
All right.
9 foot. Average length is 9 feet. Average weight is 900 pound or 800 pounds.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and lift the pupper.
Give me a strength check.
Come on, dice gods, don't fuck me over, man. Gotta roll it normal. God damn it!
Unfortunately, you try, and the direwolf squirms away from you as you're trying, and you can't really get a good grip around him enough to lift him.
My wolf's probably giving him a look like, what
Yeah, the wolf
Alfred?"
is snarling at you.
I mean, to be fair, if I was able to lift him, I was just
Hunter,
gonna
thank you
toss
for the
him over
resubscription.
wall.
Oh god.
I mean, he would land on his feet. He's
At,
large
at
enough.
this at this point, the direwolf won't let you near it.
All right, well then I'll just squeeze through the door and probably hit my head on the doorway
No,
because
you
I'm bad
can
at judging distance.
you can duck through easily enough. It's fairly tall enough, but you know.
Alright,
And the rest of you can just walk through. Fine.
yeah.
Just doing the robot limbo.
I'm going to go calm my wolf down a little bit and ask him just to sit around here somewhere, maybe away from people, and just wait for us to come back.
Ooh, you could have
Okay.
him guard the cart
Or that.
Okay.
because ain't nobody gonna rob the
Which-
cart.
which are
when
you
there's
doing?
a big ass wolf sitting next to it.
I need to know, which are you doing?
I would almost rather him just sit where he's at because
That way he's closer.
yeah, and he would have to walk through like the crowds of people by himself that time, and that might
Mhm.
not go over well.
He might just accidentally get anxious and
All
eat
right.
somebody.
You see the direwolf kind of go to where the interior wall meets the exterior wall and kind of sits in the corner there with its eyes pierced at every single person walking by.
Smells like chicken.
And it does get quite a few stares back at it. But as you guys walk in, you do see that, as it was previously described, this is a exterior sleeping area. There are plenty of covered areas, but it's not per se like an interior hostel sort of thing. It's beds on the ground, if that.
Is there anybody nearby that is like by themselves?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. That's decent.
Yeah, you do see that there's a couple people in the area. It's still fairly early, so a lot of them are asleep. You can kind of assume that these people were more than likely long distance travelers who are sleeping during the day, maybe traveling during the strange hours. But you do notice that there's at least one or two of them awake.
You said that the area that they're in is sort of like for maybe people that just don't have very much money, and the beds are all on the ground.
For the most part, what beds there are taken. It seems that it's a first come first serve sort of thing for the beds, but they are currently taken.
Okay, so just beds though, no like. I'm thinking of like furniture or storage.
There's a couple crates, but that's about it.
Okay.
You could probably assume that the crates are there more for storage of goods for the town itself instead of the people who are there.
Well, I'm gonna walk up to the motorway.
Your mic is cutting in and out.
Is that any better?
Should be. We'll see.
I'm gonna walk up to whoever looks to be most awake.
All right, there's two of them that are kind of just sitting there with their arms on their legs. One is a half-elf man sitting there with pretty ragged clothing, worn shoes, that sort of stuff. And the other one is another halfling. Similar clothing situation. But he's kind of rifling through a little pack that he has.
Alright, I'm gonna go up to the halfling.
All right.
Nyana's going to be walking right behind Bastion and kind of taking a look at all the little places that people are sleeping at, and mention to Fira also that she remembers that Yasmig said that the cape that the man had was a pretty nice cape, so that should stand out around here.
All right, as you
Yeah.
as you approach Bastion, the little halfling sees your shadow loom over him, and he looks up and kind of jumps a little bit. You're a tall one, aren't you?
I mean, no harm, traveler. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get on my knees and get like as small as I can. So I'm still gonna be huge, but like try and get
Exactly.
down to his level.
That's exactly what not to do with a short person.
Well, well, you see, there's a lot of people who don't really take kind to us. So, and as you kind of approach and kneel down, he kind of squirms away a little bit. What do you want from me?
Just a few moments of your time.
All right. What do you need?
I'm gonna go ahead and beckon to Niana and have her give a good description of the of the Dragonborn guy, because they have heard the description more completely than I have.
Okay, so am I talking to the
Halfling.
halfling now? Okay.
Tiny boy.
Okay, right. So, first of all, nothing to worry about. I know Bastion is quite tall.
That he
He won't-
is.
He won't, he won't hurt
He
you.
gives a little nervous laugh at that.
um. Okay, so we seem to have had something stolen.
Oh, that's never good. And you see him kind of push his pack behind him.
There was a. We have an assumption of who it might be because he bumped into somebody at the tavern last night, our friend Yasmik. And he was quite tall, and he was wearing a pretty nice cloak, and his skin was a bit shiny. After I asked the barmaid about it, she said that the only person that could be considered shiny around here is some man that is dragonborn. And we came here to look around a bit and see if we could find anybody of the sort.
His eyes kind of dart around for a moment and go, "Yeah, I've seen this Dragonborn. Very shiny, very stern look on his face. Why do you want him exactly?"
We
What is
believe he is in possession of something that is ours, and we would care to talk to him about getting it back.
Roll me a persuasion check. Bastion.
Not horrible, even though my persuasion is only a +1.
He looks at you, Bastion, looks back at Nyana, and back at you. Yeah, I've seen this man. He sometimes sleeps around here, but most of the time he's wandering through the night, wandering around the town. I think he goes to the tavern every night. I haven't seen him since, well, looking at the sun and all that stuff. I haven't seen him since probably a couple hours ago, maybe right when the sun came up.
Do you know where he might have been going or where you last saw him exactly? I know the barmaid told me that he was parked over by where most of the other carts are.
The little halfling choked. I don't know. He normally sleeps in here, not with the carts, but that's only after some pretty long nights with the tavern. I've been here for a couple days, and he's been here both days.
One detail that we haven't heard as far as his description, would you happen to know the color of his skin if he is a Dragonborn?
It was definitely shiny as you described. bronze, gold, one of those yellow colors.
So definitely not silver or
No,
any
no.
cold color.
Well, yellowish, goldish, that sort of area. Bronze, brass, maybe. I don't know.
All right, I'll go ahead and take note of that.
Another question.
Mhm.
If he occasionally sleeps here,
He nods his head.
say if you wanted to leave here and go somewhere else, would somebody just go the opposite way, or is there another exit out of this place here?
Nope, that's the only one.
Alright. Are you sure he's not here then? Because my
He
dire
looks
wolf will-
around. I don't see him.
I'm only asking because my dire wolf caught the scent of the item that we're missing and led us to the entrance of this place.
Well, he's
Not
not.
away
He's
from
not
it,
here, but
so-
maybe the item. Maybe. That's all I can say.
Did you say before that you knew where he was?
You cut out again.
I was asking him if he knew before, or if he said before he knew where Dragonborn was camped.
He looks around and kind of opens up his arms wide. Where you lay is where you lay. And kind of cowers a little bit again.
Do you recall if the last time we did detect magic on that light thing, did it emit magic?
It did.
Can I go ahead and sit down and start doing that right now?
So you're going to take the 11 minutes to cast it, to ritual cast it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there any way I can help out with that? Because I also
Mhm.
have it as a ritual.
It would take 10 minutes no matter what, unless she wants to spend the spell slot.
Oh, okay.
Or has it prepared for the day even.
No, I'm just gonna take 10 minutes and just kind of sit in the middle of the room and do it.
Got it. What is the range on that? 30 feet? It's 30 feet and lasts for an hour, I believe. Or it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you do feel the aura around you, but you don't get a ping from where exactly you are. And looking around, you can see that this... It's not really a room as much as a section. This sectioned off area is probably around 50 feet by 50 feet.
Oh, okay. So I feel something in the area, but I don't get any.
No.
pings.
You know your aura. Like, you can feel
Oh,
the
okay.
aura of the spell, but you don't get any blips.
Am I sitting within 30 feet of the guy that we're talking to?
Yes.
Okay. And his bag?
No. Nothing as strong as what you're looking for.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do this 5 times to do the whole room.
Your prism. Your little light shard thing.
How long does it last?
10 minutes concentration.
And it's centered on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I can get up and walk around?
You can get up and walk around, yeah.
Okay, well then I'm gonna walk from one end of the room to the other, like basically cover a square of the room.
Got it.
I'm gonna see what she is doing and go ahead and follow her.
Got it. Give me a perception check, those of you who are looking around.
Should I do it with advantage? Because he's helping me.
Yes.
So do you want me to not roll
No.
advantage?
Yeah, only Farah is gonna roll with advantage.
Okay.
Fairly easily, you do see that there's some things around that look like packs, but glancing at them and getting within 30 feet of them, you don't really feel a magical presence. But you do feel ping suddenly from your left, and you look directly towards it. It's right on the outskirts of your range, and you walk towards it, and there's a crate there, but you kind of feel the presence behind the crate. And roll me an investigation check. Specifically,
can I give her
Farah.
advantage on that?
I have 1. Do you have better?
I have 2.
Farah is the one who's looking at it, so
Oh yeah, because
she
you're the only one that can see the aura right now.
well,
Oh, right.
she gets
right.
the
Okay,
ping
so
of it.
I am going to.
It's just a straight roll.
Oh,
You rolled good.
Very nice.
At least.
Yeah. You pull aside, or you reach down and kind of feel along the crate, and you feel that part of it's been cut out, and you open it up, and you do find a bag there. And in that bag, you open it up, you see the prism sitting on top of it, along with a few other miscellaneous things.
okay. Do any of them look valuable?
Not really.
Just kind of random stuff.
Kind of random stuff.
Do I notice that she pulled out this like bag?
Yeah. What's your
And
passive
I
perception,
also-
actually?
12.
Ooh. With your passive, I wouldn't say you did.
Okay.
Uh,
So I'm just still like scanning around, looking at people, see if anybody's looking suspicious.
since Fira walked off and we're pretty much done talking to the halfling,
Mm-hmm.
could I go to follow her? But before I do, I pass 2 silver onto the 2 people that we were bothering.
You only bothered the halfling.
Okay, well,
But,
I'll give a
yeah.
silver to him then.
Okay, go ahead and mark it down then.
I hold up the prism to the other 2 and say, "Look what I found."
Should
imagine-
I go ahead and hold on to that for safekeeping? And I'm gonna go ahead and pop open like my chest compartment.
I mean, it is your lighthouse. Right?
I don't see anyone taking that out from you without you realizing it, so perhaps it's the safest place.
All right, I'm definitely gonna like stick it in my chest like some sort of Iron Man arc reactor.
Alright.
I
You-
was dreaming.
You hear a
I was dreaming.
ting, ting, ting as he kind of jams it into his chest. And it's embedded in his chest now. So what are you doing?
Well, now that I have it, Farah, did you keep that bag that you grabbed, or did you put it back?
Say that again?
Did you keep the bag that you grabbed, or did you put it back?
No, I still have it, and I point out that there's some other stuff in there, but I don't think any of it is of value, and I hand it to you.
All right. Yeah, I might as well hold on to that too, because the guy's gonna want his stuff sooner or later.
Yes, if we keep the bag, then I could definitely use it just in case he tries to sneak up on us.
Well, yeah, because his
again.
bag probably smells like him, doesn't it?
Exactly.
At this point, you all hear, "What are you doing with my stuff?" And you turn around, and you see a fairly tall, about 6 feet tall dragonborn, gold skin, wearing a very nice dark cape with tan clothes underneath. Think Obi-Wan's clothes from Star Wars, that sort of thing. And
So like brown robes, light tunic, that kind of stuff.
yeah, that sort of stuff. And you see that you see that he's standing there, and he's standing there kind of curiously with his arms on his hips, like expecting an answer from you.
May I inquire who's asking?
My name is Dub. Who the fuck are you guys? And why do you have my stuff?
We're the owners of this thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and just tap the crystal with my finger. We just happened to find it here, and we're able to take it from your bag. Which we have here, by the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and dangle the bag up in the air.
Alright. Fox, what are you going to do?
Oh, this is a person.
What?
Oh shit. Plot thickens as fuck.
You have your item, now give me my bag. And he walks over and...
What is in this bag that is worth it to you? We've already searched it.
Everything. Gold is gold, you know.
I ask him, is everything else in here stolen like ours was? Like our object was?
No, it's not.
Then would you care to tell me why this ended up in your possession? Once again, pointing at the crystal.
Give me a second. Actually, yeah. I keep thinking it's an NPC. Go ahead. Do what you need to do. Should have access to your character sheet now. Found it on the floor after bumping into someone at the tavern the other night.
I'm inciting the shit out of that.
Okay.
I just kinda glare at
okay.
Yasmig.
Roll deception for me, please, Fox.
That hella set off my RoboCop senses.
Just because it's a natural 20
just
doesn't...
found it on the floor.
Just because it's a natural 20 doesn't mean it's automatically a thing.
No, I know, but nobody just found it on the floor.
You don't see your sheet. You should see it because I gave it to you.
I feel like anytime we see the green
In the
numbers, we
newspaper
just gotta
area,
find
it should be there. It's blank. Click on. You're in bio and info. Oh wait. Click on
Well, I
character
also
sheets.
don't buy that it fell out of the bag with how methodically hoarding Yasmig is. He would have put it somewhere special in the bag.
He's got them daggers locked up tight.
Yeah, click on character sheet at the top. It should be there. Okay, then I'll roll it for you right now. We'll try and figure this out afterwards.
Going in and out of roll 20.
Well, actually, just it's a D20 plus 4. I need a photo of that. Post in D&D chat, please. She's using her own dice set. Which I believe the luck of this dice doing health rolls and stuff.
I mean, if it's a nat 20 versus a nat 20, that kind of just
It's a 24 versus a 24 if it's actually a natural 20.
Yeah.
So because it matches, I would say that you wouldn't know. Yeah.
That damn Interim.
I'd say for the sake of simplicity and making things a bit easier on everyone, let's just use the roll 20 from now on. How about that?
Yeah, you can just do like /roll and then whatever dice you're rolling.
Well, I got the character sheet up that I can just click from. I don't know why it's not showing. That's general chat. Yeah, that's a natural 20.
So I don't know shit. I can't tell
You
if the Dragonborn's lying or not.
you don't know if they're lying or not, but the story does seem fishy.
Well, because personally, Bastion thinks that with how much Yasmig hoards things, he wouldn't have had the super shiny magic item that he cares so much about, like out somewhere where it would fall out of the bag if he just got bumped into. It would have been like deep inside the bag.
Then what are you doing about it?
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell the Dragonborn I don't buy that story.
So she can't see the character sheet? Because I know bio and info.
Yeah, she
info is
can't see
blank.
the character sheet. Doesn't matter if you buy it or not, that's not what happened.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at Fira and Nyana. What do you think we should do with the bag? Should we return it, or should we turn it into the local authorities?
Can you
Whatever those might be.
Can you see your character sheet now?
I kind of shrug and I'm like, we got our stuff back.
Perfect.
It doesn't seem like anything of true value was really taken from these people. If it was taken.
In that case, I'm just gonna unceremoniously in front of.
You're cutting
mic's
out.
Cutting out.
Just switch to push to talk, Argus. All right. What are you doing? You see the Dragonborn kind of change the way they're standing and pull a staff out from underneath their robes. It's a long, dark cedar staff with a black obsidian orb kind of in branches twisted around it at the top.
I pull mine out too and I ask, what is that for?
Just insurance.
Uh-huh.
Testing.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, now that we got our stuff back, I would be heading back to go check on the cart and the horses.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like attempt a citizen's arrest like this far south.
Yeah.
My guard badge doesn't mean anything down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of back out of the room with the group, kind of keeping an eye on them. And
Vera, give me a perception check.
okay.
You notice, as you're kind of like looking at this character, you do notice that his robe is extremely clean and like extremely fine built or crafted, especially for the area that he's staying. And you see the same about his staff as well. His staff is like on par with yours in craftsmanship.
Okay.
Yeah, and the hood is down, so you only really see eyes underneath. Or not really even seeing eyes underneath, you just see a snout coming out from underneath. With
Well, he said the
or
hood is down,
teeth.
not up.
Oh, down. Okay, so yeah. You see gold scales with dark orb eyes, and on his neck you see a tattoo which is of a cross and a pentagram underneath the cross. But looking closely at it, you see that part of the pentagram is not a tattoo. It's branded on him.
Do I recognize it from somewhere?
Give me a history check.
Alright. I'm having lucky rolls.
Smart elf.
So, you know this as a... Well, you know that the brand, it's a star with a circle in it. You see that it is a pagan satanic symbol. And the cross that is tattooed over it has 6 points coming out of it, in each pointing cardinal directions. And you know it as a chaos cross. The meaning of it being chaos, that is.
Okay, so that means that they're probably not a good guy, or maybe have not great intentions.
That's up for you to decide.
I mean, chaos isn't inherently bad. I mean, I'm
True.
pretty sure like half the party's chaotic good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little stretch.
Uh. As where are the other two right now? They're like right next to me.
Yeah, they're kind of starting to walk towards the exit.
When we get out of the room, I kind of pull them aside and mention to them that something is not right with that guy or person, and that something is off. I mentioned that the mark, where I recognize it from, what it means, and that someone like that is just way too well dressed to be basically sleeping in a homeless house.
I'm back.
You may need to repeat that because Kaya was AFK.
It's
I actually then.
It's okay. I got my headset on. I just couldn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I heard everything.
You heard, okay.
I mean, I don't know whether Bastion would be offended just based on the fact that he's lawful good, or if I should try and make a history roll to see if there's like any criminal connection with those symbols.
I'm not sure if this person is maybe linked somehow to the people that we've been dealing with already. Maybe like the wizard that had the blood, or some kind of thing.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go ahead and try and roll history and just see if I remember anything about those symbols.
Go ahead.
Not great.
What you've been told already is what you remembered. You can't think of anything else about it off the top of your head.
All right.
I'll go ahead and have Nyana try to see if she remembers anything about it too.
All right.
History?
Mm-hmm.
I failed
You
history
don't.
class.
You definitely do not. You were more on the fighting side of training more than the learning side of training.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fox, what are you doing as you see this group leaving the area with the prism that you found / stole the night before?
Found, quote unquote.
All right, are you trying to be stealthy? DM me a stealth check, please. Or not DM, a At the top of your character sheet, there will be 2 GM. Do a stealth check for me, please. And the rest of you guys, where are you heading?
I would be heading back towards the cart.
Okay.
Same.
So I assume we'd be picking up the dire wolf on the way back.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's not early morning, but the sun is up enough, and the already busy streets are even busier now.
I try to finish the business that I wanted to do last night and looking for a blacksmith in the market or something.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
I'll follow Fira.
Are you looking as well?
Yeah, I'll just give her advantage.
Yes, then roll with advantage for investigation. Alright, you do fairly easily follow some smoke trails in the sky and find your way to a smith who has set up a fairly long-term for this sort of area solution to all of this. And as you approach, you see the same half-orc man that you were dancing with the night before.
Wait, he's the smith or is he standing near
He's
there?
the smith.
Oh.
Nice.
Gonna get a discount. Let's go. No, so when I see him and I recognize him, I kind of wave and smile a bit, I guess, and walk up and greet myself. Greet him.
Seeing you approach, he stands up straight, wipes some sweat off his brow, and goes, "Well, hello there. Didn't expect to see you again.
Same here.
Seemed like a traveler who was only here for a night."
Not knowing social cues whatsoever, Bastion's gonna like reach in the middle of them and try and shake his hand.
Taken a little aback, he looks up at you and says, "Hello there," and grabs your hand, and even for you, it's a pretty hearty grip.
Bastion, pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
Meanwhile,
Cool.
I'm hiding a laugh. I'm trying really hard to hide.
He laughs a little and goes, "My name's Gormir. So, I'm assuming this isn't just for pleasantries. Fuck me, pleasantries. What can I help y'all with?"
I'm actually looking for someone to make me a set of medium armor.
A set of medium armor, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna inquire
Well-
if he has any leftover scrap, like light armor. Doesn't need to be operational.
I do have some sets of, You're basically just pointing to you, Bastion. You're looking for some of those just bits and pieces, the materials to make this stuff.
Yes.
Got it. That will be easy enough. You will need to see what I have done, and see if I have something that... And he looks you up and down. May fit you. And he smiles and walks into the back.
Okay.
Armor 5e. To the book.
Da-da-da.
After a little bit, he walks back out from the back with a couple of things in hand. He places down a chain shirt and a nice thing of scale mail as well. And says, "Well, this is mainly what I have right now, but how long are you staying?"
I look at Argus and I mean, we were wanting to get to the next city as soon as possible, right?
Last I heard, we were on the way to Baldur's Gate. It's quite a long way from here.
We have a long journey ahead of us, so we may take a couple days here to rest before we take off again.
He nods at that. Well, if these aren't to your liking, perhaps we can figure something else out. But pointing to the scale mail and the chain shirt, these are all that I have that are better than leather armor right now.
So kind of an OOC question.
Mm-hmm.
Leather is light, right? And then
Leather is light.
And it doesn't matter what the material is made of. Medium is medium, right?
Well, medium armor is usually metal.
Right.
Yeah, and don't you got all sorts of can't use metal? 'cause
Well,
you're a
actually, she's a druid, so they actually have proficiency in medium armor.
Yeah, I noticed it on my sheet, which is why I wanted to ask.
You're thinking in 3.5 in Pathfinder. That is a specific thing of they cannot use metal, but not in
Did I-
5e. They just need to be
Did I-
proficient.
Oh,
Did I miss where he said how much it would be? I kind of was.
It has
doing
not said
things
it
well.
yet.
Okay.
And aside from raising my AC, would it do anything else, like reducing my travel distance or speed? Or...
Well, a chain shirt is an AC of 13, a base AC of 13, plus your dex modifier to a maximum of 2. That would give you 15 AC in total. Where scale mail is 14 plus dex modifier maximum to 2. So that would give you 16 in total. However, that would give you disadvantage on stealth.
Okay. I only have a +3 in stealth. It's not that great, anyways.
A disadvantage is disadvantage.
Oh, I already have scale mail. I just realized.
Yeah, you're wearing scale mail.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna ask him how much it is for the second one you said with the higher
Scale mail.
AC. Yeah.
Well, it's simple enough. It's 50 gold pieces. For this basic set. Comes with a coat and leggings, or perhaps a skirt if that's more your fit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Pleasure doing business with ya. And he outstretches his arm.
I take it and I shake it.
And he pulls you in for a hug.
Oh.
And then let's go and says, absolute pleasure doing business with ya, and hands it to you.
I look a little taken aback and I kind of step back tighten myself.
And you for your scraps. Just leather scrappings?
Actually, out of character, let me check what the light is actually made.
I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I also asked Bastion if he wants my old leather armor as part of the scraps, or if I should just sell it. See if I can sell it to this blacksmith.
I'll take it if I can make my armor out of it, but I think it actually has to be metal. Checking.
Is it on your
It says-
character sheet, or did we not put that on there?
So I can take my armor off for light armor, and for medium armor, it's composite plating, which I assume is metal.
Yeah. Well, no. Composite is like a silica. So you don't need anything for it then. You can just remove them and store them away.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and inquire, does he have a standard array of melee weapons available?
It's a fairly standard, yeah.
Is he more of like an average like blacksmith, or is he like a martial blacksmith?
You do see a long sword or two. Most common things are more kind of put into the back, you would probably assume. Or more like not as common things are put into the back.
Does he have any spears?
Ask.
Do you have any spears or pole arms available?
He looks back and kind of thinks for a second. Not too many here want those, so I haven't made any in quite a while, and I actually think I may be out of those. But I have many of other weapons. I have a glaive, one or two great swords, I think. Most of the people here do tend to like their larger weapons.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take out like my bag of gold, and I'm gonna say, how much would you want for a great sword and a glaive?
Let me pull up your character sheet. How much money do you have?
I have 189 gold.
Okay. Looking at you and seeing the fairly large bag of gold on the table. It's gonna be 45 gold pieces in total.
Call it 50 for
Deal.
your time.
And he goes into the back. As on his way back, he grabs one of the long swords off of the shelf and finds a leather sheath for it, sticks it in there, straps it around his shoulder, goes into the back, grabs it, and you hear a little tinkering around in some heavy things. And in one hand is a fairly large glaive, and wrapped under his other arm is the long sword or great sword.
Great sword.
Oh, never mind. Price is very different.
How much extra?
95 in total.
Yeesh.
I'll just buy the longsword then.
The longsword is dead.
Yeah, I'll just buy the longsword and the glaive instead of the great
Gotcha.
sword and the glaive.
Gotcha. Alright, and he puts it onto the table. 45 gold.
I hand it over with the additional 5 for the tip.
And you see him put it into his coin pouch on his leg. Pleasure doing business with all of ya.
I ask him if I can, if he has any interest in my old leather armor and if I could sell it back to him.
He looks at it and, it's well made, but the condition's pretty rough. What have you gotten into?
You don't want to know.
I guess not. I'll give you 5 gold for it.
Alright, so I step into the back and I change into my new, and then as I walk out, I hand it to him.
Alright, and he hands you back 5 gold. Nyana, give me a perception check.
Alrighty.
Yes.
Oof.
You look around and
Yikes.
in the crowd you can kind of see across the way a hooded figure kind of standing there. But can't make out too many details.
Alright. Well, knowing what I already know about the person that we just met, I think I'm gonna keep my eye on.
Okay.
Does it matter how much it weighs?
I can get you that weight.
Oh, also, I was gonna ask, how do I do the drag over thingy to add the longsword
okay,
and the
so it needs to be in the actual Roll20 window. It can't be popped out. Click the compendium thing. It would be to the right of your journal, and then search it from there. Then drag and drop. And you would not have heard what they gotten into because they didn't really say.
That was supposed to give me an AC of 16, right?
It should, because it's 14 plus 2.
Okay.
If you couldn't hear it with your feet. Oh wait, you have keen mind. That's right. Give me a perception check to see if you heard it or not.
Did not mean to click that.
And you can roll the perception check for everyone, not just me. Oh my god. No, you didn't hear it. You hear some whispers and then some laughing. She rolled a natural 1.
No.
Yeah. Both in roll 20, god. She got a natural 1 on the stealth check too, by the way. That's why you saw her, Kaya.
Oh. I was surprised. I thought, wouldn't you see shit?
So, as you guys are finishing up with this, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna let the other two know that I saw somebody in a hood just kind of standing around.
Okay.
This could be a problem. I'm curious if it's even safe to stay here another night. We don't want to wake up with something else stolen out of our bags.
As soon as I get told that there's a hooded figure nearby just lurking around, I'm gonna go ahead and start actively searching to see if I can see the person.
Roll me a perception check. You look around and you do see a hooded figure again across the kind of street with where the crowd is, kind of up against the corner of an alley, and you can't really make out too many more details from where you're at.
But I did see someone.
You did see someone, however, they just vanished into a mist.
Okay. Did any of the others see the person vanish?
I would say Nyana did, and Fira probably did with her passive. And if you are trying to re-stealth again, Fox, give me another stealth check to me, please.
The hooded figure just disappeared.
I
Mm,
noticed.
I saw. I do agree that maybe it'd be best if we could leave soon, but at the same time, it seems Sarah Deer is feeling a little bit ill and is stuck in the tavern room, remember?
Oh, true. Perhaps we should all
We
stay
could-
in the same room tonight.
We could leave enough gold with Saradir so that he and Yasmig could buy a horse.
Horses are 500 gold,
That's expensive.
or 300 or something. They are expensive. We went over this session too. That's why you guys ended up stealing horses.
Borrowing on an extended lease.
Borrowing almost a month past your original return date.
Very, very
We
extended.
did give him a bunch of extra gold. He probably was able to feed his family this winter. So
So what are you guys doing?
I guess I'll just start heading in the direction of where I last saw the hooded figure,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be like actively looking for traces.
Give me a perception check. You walk your way
Man, I'm not
over
rolling
to
that
where
great.
he was before, and with that perception, you look around into the crowd, but there's just too many people, and you can't really see anyone else matching that description. And there's no footsteps leaving from where you were, or from that area either.
Well, yeah, because I saw the person vanish into the mist.
Into
right?
mist.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Yes.
It's gonna suck, but I'm gonna use a spell slot.
All right. You get a very, very, very faint sense of magical aura from where you stand.
Just where I stand and nowhere
Just
else.
where you stand. Remember, it only has a 30-foot range.
You might have to walk.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna start heading down whatever passageway this path leads into.
The alleyway or the street?
What? Because you said that they were like standing on a corner, right?
Well, no. You were at a shop that was on a main street, and he was standing on like the corner of where an alley was.
All right, then I'm gonna start heading down the alley.
All right. You get maybe 10 feet down the alley, 15 feet. It turns a corner a little bit, and as you're kind of reaching the corner, you do get a ping.
I'm gonna straight up like full sprint towards the ping.
All right.
You guys just hear like some super loud steam noises, and then I
You-
just take off.
Fox, you hear what sounds like a mechanical monster coming towards you.
Clank,
what
clank,
do you
clank,
do?
clank, clank.
All right. At this point, you round the corner, and I need both of you to roll initiative.
Showdown.
14 and all right, Bastion, you round the corner and you see the Dragonborn there with his staff out, or pulling his staff out from his robes, and you start charging. What do you do?
He's gonna get tackled.
It's probably like another 10-foot distance from where you're standing to where he is. So you are trying to trip or grapple.
Grapple.
All right, give me an athletics check, and I need from you, Dub. I need a acrobatics or athletics check to counter it. You could do acrobatics or athletics, whichever one's better for you. Yeah, I gave you that one because I figured you probably would not want to use that one. What was the roll difference? Okay. With that, the Dragonborn kind of skirts out of the way a little bit, just quickly enough, as you end up running past them in almost into the street that they were hiding near. Dub, it is your turn. What are you doing? This metal monster, or this metal creature, is within 5 feet of you.
Hey, I resemble that comment.
All right. Strong wind, 60 feet long, 10 feet wide. Strength saving throw, Bastion. Yeah, that passes.
I'm a very heavy robot.
But the gust is blowing against you very strongly, and
So it's gonna like cost more to move or something?
it's 2 feet of, or must spend two. It's double movement. It's basically rough terrain.
Okay.
I don't want to harm you.
Then why are you tailing us? I thought our business had concluded.
Yeah, they fighting. Seem like a group I may be interested in is all.
So you decided to steal from us and then follow us.
Stealing was a mistake. We all make them.
Quite obviously, seeing as we have possession of the prism now.
Which you see is embedded in his chest. Still.
Bastion is just like not having any shit because like his inner guard is coming out and he was stolen from. How long or how far did I run away from Niana and Fira?
You're probably a good like 40 or 50 feet down the alley. You're almost to the next street.
Are we still by the blacksmiths?
Did you guys try to follow me?
Yeah, did you guys try and
Imagine we
follow him?
would've- Yeah, we probably would have heard him, like,
I would say you followed
running.
him to where you last saw the or where you last saw Doob, and then you heard what was happening. So at this point, you would probably be approaching the corner.
yeah.
Okay. So we're walking up to the two of them.
You're approaching the corner where you're about to round it. But as you're approaching the corner, you can feel the gust of wind blowing towards where you guys are. And you, Bastion, hear Doob say, shrug and say, I see you were at the blacksmith, and it seems like you were ready for battle. That's all.
Cease this gust, or you might actually have to find out.
Do you stop the gust? The winds fade as you two approach the corner, and you walk around the corner to see that the wizard is lowering his staff, kind of resting the bottom of it on the ground, and is looking at Bastion and kind of glances over and sees you two as well rounding the corner. You're in an alley alone, the four of you.
I yell out to Bastion and ask him what's going on.
The Dragonborn was the one that was tailing us. I detected it using one of my spells and managed to chase him down this alleyway before being confronted with some sort of massive wind. I asked him to stop, and he did, which at least speaks somewhat to his character.
You see him lean up against the wall.
I ask him, is there something that you want from us? I'm not sure why you seem so interested in a group.
I too have some demons that I want to see dealt with, or wish to see dead. I haven't seen a group like you pass in a long time.
So you're looking for a group to see some battle with?
Indeed.
I would just be looking to Fira and Niana for counsel as to what to do in this situation.
Yeah, I look a little bit surprised, and I look at the other two of them, and looking at Diana, thinking, "Okay, what do we do here?"
Have you heard of a man referred to as a Dark Lord? And I want you all to do history checks. Actually, straight intelligence checks.
Yikes. I even have a good intelligence.
Dude.
Intelligence check, not saving throw. Are you proficient in saving throws? I'll
Wait,
take that natural.
save?
I'll take that natural. Is it the same number? Like, no, it's a +1, so that would have been a 21.
I think I hit the wrong one. Should I do it again?
Sure. Nyana, you definitely remember someone who was referenced similarly to that a long time ago. Seems like almost months ago now. And Fira, you remember hearing similar words spoken by your mentor
As like an enemy?
as like an enemy of the cause of your desire, of your quest.
He's someone I suspect for everything that happened.
Someone that you highly suspect.
Okay. With that, my eyes kind of darken, and I'm like, yes, and what would you have to do with that?
Somewhere suddenly Yasmik has a death saving throw. That I will tell in time, but I wish to see his corpse burned. And you kind of see a little flame spurt from his fingertips during when that happens.
Well, I have no problem with that. And I look to the others and I say, I may be hard to trust a stranger, but it may be in our benefit to have some help.
I already have to deal with the small red pointy one and the dark elf. What's one more stowaway? Because if y'all don't remember, technically I'm supposed to be your like
Escort.
handler on this mission.
Slate supervision.
I mean, I suppose if we need the extra help, then we can accept it.
I'm not one
Not
who
everybody
needs a
is
bodyguard.
perfect. I mean, we did almost kill Yasmig one day for pushing me into a fight with orcs.
I'm not one who needs a bodyguard. I just wanna see him dead.
Well, if you earn your keep, then you earn your keep.
He walks up to you, Bastion, with his hand extended. Which hand, Fox? Your right hand? Let me double check this. Okay, yeah, you see him extend his hand. And you see that there are no scales on this hand. As
But
it
there are on,
pulls
like,
out
his
from
head.
underneath his robe. You see that his hand up his wrist, there are no scales.
I'll go ahead and shake his hand, but I mean, obviously, I'm not a very good judge of what is a light grip or what's a soft grip, so it's probably a very rough handshake.
Mm-hmm. Less than you would think for a Dragonborn.
Well, I suppose that decides it then. Shall we head back to the tavern and share a drink? Perhaps check on Ceridir, make sure he's not dead yet?
Yeah, I suppose.
I need to go feed the horses, anyways.
Hopefully Ceridir starts feeling better soon, otherwise we're going to have to travel while he's sick, and maybe we can just, just leave him in the blanket, roll him up like a tiny little burrito, and toss him in the back of the car.
The drinks will be on me
Maybe
tonight.
we do have rope, just in case his sickness happens to manifest in some sort of wheel-breaking explosion like last time. Ceridir Wheelbreaker, he will always be known.
I still need to make that character sheet.
Wheel breaker.
So, are you guys heading back to the tavern then? To the where your rooms are?
Mhm.
Or is there anything else that you guys want to take care of while you're out?
Nope.
Alright, you see Dob starting to walk into the street again and turn towards the direction of the tavern. And I'm assuming you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And with that, you all, as the sun, at this point, with your time searching and your time shopping, it's probably around close to midday now. The tavern, people are starting to fill in a little bit for food and early drinks, some light ale and such. The band that was there the night before is back again, playing some quieter music, as it's not so much a festival of the night as much as just atmosphere at this point. You walk into the tavern and see that Yasmig again is trying to chat up some other poor dwarven woman this time, but she doesn't really seem too interested.
He never quits.
And that's where we're going to end tonight, because we are missing a couple people. And we'll pick it back up tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, next time.
Alright.
Yeah. Because that was like 2.5 hours, and I have like another 2.5 hours planned, but we need more people for that.
Yeah, we can't really do much right now except leave the town with Ceridir rolled up as a burrito.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
Anyway, welcome Fox to the party.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it was a surprise.
Just wait until you get to meet the edgy ones. Where
Yeah, just-
us three are the nice half of the party.
Yeah, just wait till you meet the other two.
You know, Yustik, when he said that their cloak was really nicely made, I thought about killing him and taking it. It's a good thing I didn't do that.
I would have liked to see you try.
That's probably true. It wouldn't have gone very well.
Let me just roll something for you. I'm gonna steal your character sheet real quick. Where is it? Magic Missile is a fun spell that does not miss. And there's 3 of them. So... Wizards, man. Alright. Good session, everyone.
Can I have fun with rolls now?